Because up till now, the manipulation was rather rudimentary. Nobody could really know what was happening inside your brain. So, you know, they had folk psychology and folk sociology for thousands of years. You know which kind of stories make people do what kind of things. But it's very rudimentary and unscientific. And this was simply because nobody could really get inside your brain and inside your mind. Because nobody understood biology well enough, and nobody had enough computing power, you know, to gather all the data about you 24 hours a day and analyze it. I mean, even if you lived in the Soviet Union during Stalin or during Brezhnev era, and you had the KGB follow you around 24 hours a day, the KGB didn't have the kind of brain science we have today, and the KGB did not have like supercomputers. So, you know, you have all these huge files on Natalie that we gathered for years, but who can read all that and analyze it? Now, it's a completely different situation. We are beginning to have enough understanding of biology and enough computing power so that for the first time in history, somebody, some corporations, some governments could be in a position to hack human beings in a systematic and large-scale manner. Which means that very soon, somebody out there will know me better than I know myself, and will know you better than you know yourself. Now again, it's not completely new. There were cases before that somebody knows you better than you know yourself. Very often we call this person mother. When I was... So it's good that she knows you better than you know yourself, because as a 3-year-old, you won't survive otherwise.
You're not angry, you're hungry. That's
yes.
my rule for my kids.
But the problem is, what happens if you're 30 years old and the president tells you, you're not angry, you're hungry? That's far more sinister than when it comes from your mother. Or when Amazon tells you, you're not really angry about me, you're just hungry. You need to eat this. Trust me.
Buy this, yeah.
Yeah. And this is where we are going to. And it's not, you know, a science fiction fantasy. But I think personally that science fiction is maybe the most important genre today, because it prepares people for dealing with the new challenges of the 21st century, like AI. But it usually focuses on the wrong scenarios, like the scenario of the AI gaining consciousness and the robots coming to kill us. This is very unlikely. I'm far more concerned about the robots coming to feed us and to sell us stuff. That the robots are coming to sell us stuff.
They've already come to sell us stuff, right?
And they know how to press our emotional buttons. So they are very good at selling us stuff.
So do we throw away our smartphones? Is that the...
no, I mean...
Does that help us? Does it save us?
No, I mean, it's impossible. And also because, you know, much of the new technology has wonderful promises. We don't want to give up all the good things that the internet and smartphones have been doing for us. I met my husband on the internet. So I don't want to give it up. The internet has been good to me. But like with every technology, we need to make it serve our purposes instead of us serving its purposes. The problem is that for the first time, we have a technology that can understand our purposes better than we do and can therefore manipulate it without our even realizing it. We have all this still myth of free will, that everything we choose is of our own free will. And this is a myth that served us well for a couple of centuries, but now it's becoming dangerous. Because when people believe that every decision they make reflects, why did you choose this? Oh, this is my free will. Then you're very uncurious about what's really happening inside your brain, inside your mind, and what kind of buttons and levers are being pressed. And, you know, as long as nobody can really mess with your brain and your mind, then you can believe in free will and there is no harm. But once somebody has privileged access to your inner reality, and it's not you, it's some corporation or government, then belief in free will becomes very, very dangerous. The easiest people to manipulate are the people who are convinced that their decision, no, I decided it, it's my free will. Which,
Okay.
you know, you have today, it's not science fiction, you have today corporations whose advertisement campaigns are like precision-guided munitions. Like, we need to find 16-year-old girls with low self-esteem. This is the ideal clientele for our product. And we now have an algorithm that can sift through big data gathered from YouTube and Facebook and whatever, and we can locate the 16,728 16-year-old girls with low self-esteem that we can target for our product. And this is not science fiction. This is happening all the time. You know, Cambridge Analytica and all that, it drew attention to the political implications of this technology. And personally, I think it's actually good it happened, because it was a kind of wake-up call. And we still have time, not a lot of time, but we still have some time to do something about it. To realize what is the implications of creating these kinds of technologies to hack human beings.